imagining the keep on the Borderlands in real life. There's a hill where the keep stands. There's even a road over there that leads up to the keep, just like in the picture in the back of the module. So it's not too much of a stretch to imagine a castle up there. I would live there. I just need a castle. And in module B2, the Keep on the Borderlands, there's an area map, and it's done on graph paper. And each square is supposed to be 100 yards. So maybe down here, down to the bushes, maybe that's 50 yards. Okay. So I think you can travel 3 squares in a turn unencumbered. Let's see, how long does it take to walk 100 yards unencumbered? My goodness. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out Basic D&D, and I've been writing about the Keep on the Borderlands on my Patreon, and it's a tough module to read as is. So what I've been doing is copy and pasting the material from the module on internet archives available for free. Don't pay for that PDF stuff. You can usually find everything on internet archives, and you can put it on a memory card and go print it up yourself for cheap. Okay, so there's that. So hopefully this video will be on YouTube, because I just tried to put in my memory card reader into the computer and it didn't work. So I figured something must be wrong. So I turned off the computer, waited, turned it back on, and sure enough there was some kind of update thing that I've never taken care of. But I think it was enough to stop the memory card from being acknowledged by the computer. So hopefully I'll be able to get this video up. Otherwise my YouTube career is over. All it takes is one technical failing, and then I would have no way to upload my photos and videos to things on the web. So everything is hanging by a thread. I've just been thinking and reading about the Keep on the Borderlands a lot lately, because I want to play through the module as intended. Well, therein lies the problem. The author Gary Gygax, the creator of D&D, along with Dave Arneson. Well, Gary Gygax leaves a lot to the imagination. He expects you to create stuff. He doesn't do all the work for you. But then it's hard to do when you're 16 and you have homework and you're going to school and you work a job and you want to have a fun D&D session. But then you have homework for D&D. And that takes hours and hours and hours. And then you don't get your homework done. And then you don't do too well in school. And then you want to paint miniatures instead of opening up your history book, which I could never do in high school. I had good intentions. I'd bring my book home with intentions to read it. And I'd read that stuffy text for about 10 minutes and I'd be so bored. That was before I discovered coffee. And I didn't have good study habits back then. It's hard to explain. Maybe someday I'll go into detail. I started out as a poor student in kindergarten, kind of became a good student, became a bad student, a good one, a bad one. Then it depended on the teacher whether I did good or bad. And somehow I survived high school, and then I was a good student in college again. And I put work into it. Okay. So there's the history of me being a student in 1 minute. Let's see, the keep on the Borderlands. So, you got to calculate the movement. That's important. I'm at the part in the module where I actually have to sit and read about every room in the keep and try and figure out that mess. It's really hard to read in the module because it's in 2 columns, and I'd rather have everything just be in a single column per page. And then diagrams and maps that you refer to are on different pages. The module was put together by hand, all the typesetting, and the illustrations were drawn by hand, and you get the printed out, and you'd have to cut it up with scissors or a cutting table, and you'd put rubber cement on the back, and you'd do a paste up. I actually studied this in my grandmother's art school. So you do a paste up on illustration board. Every page has to be set up. And the illustrations are printed. Same with them, with those black and white illustrations. Rubber cement on the back, and you have to keep your hands clean or wear rubber gloves or what have you, and carefully arrange everything using blue lines from a blue pencil, which don't show up on the camera. And you do your layout. And you work and work, and it looks fantastic, and then you print it up. And there's so many mistakes in that text. Spelling errors, size of font errors. Makes it hard to read. I'm not crazy about the new stuff either, everything being done on computer. What needs to be done is a remastered edition of the Keep on the Borderlands to my specifications. People have done different things with the Keep on the Borderlands. There was a return to the Keep on the Borderlands. I've never seen it. Anyway, there's enough for me to do with the original module to keep me busy for some time. I just spent 3 hours reading the first 6 or 7 pages of the Keep on the Borderlands. It was good reading. Once I posted it on Patreon, and I could actually read the text in order without distraction from the illustrations or other things. Okay, so there's that. So you need a party of at least 6 players, you need henchmen. You need a mule, a cart, perhaps. Or everyone needs backpacks. I guess you could go out for a day or two in the wilderness and camp, and then go back and forth to the keep, which will eventually become a pain. But I guess on each trip out from the keep, you can acquire some gold that you can spend in the keep and continually get supplies. Okay. So I have to look at the maps and figure out how long it would actually take to walk from the keep to the Caves of Chaos. If it's an hour or two, that's just a pain. I've done a lot of walking in my life. It gets to be not fun after a while, always having to walk places. We never used horses in D&D, and now that I'm grown up, I don't know why. Would have saved us a lot of trouble. We just always thought we had to walk everywhere. It never occurred to us to buy a horse. I don't remember us having horses. That would have helped a lot, huh? And then I always felt lost playing the game because I couldn't imagine the world that we were playing in. There were too many gaps. That's what's nice about video games is you can see your environment. But then again, it's not the same as D&D, where you can control the environment and you can put in and take out whatever you want. And that's kind of hard to do in a video game. Yeah, so hopefully my memory card and reader will work in my laptop. That'd be nice. That would allow me to upload this video. Let's see, what else about the Keep on the Borderlands? It's an introductory module. So I'm coming in as if I've never played the game before, and I want to learn the game. So the wandering monsters aspect, I was trying to figure it out, what the rules were in the wilderness. I guess you can do a wilderness check, a wandering monster check in the wilderness once, twice, or 3 times a day. That would make sense to me. The rules say once a day, perhaps. Okay. But I think there could be more wandering monsters than that. So that would mean if you don't roll 1, you wouldn't encounter a wandering monster even once a day. Oh, that's no fun. You want to fight monsters, that's what the game is. EverQuest was the first time I'd ever seen the idea of wandering monsters being portrayed accurately, where they are just there, they have no purpose, and they exist solely for you to kill them and get XP and loot. Okay. So Basic D&D can be like that. That makes sense to me. You're just wandering around and all of a sudden there's a brownie or an elf or a bear or a lion. Okay. There doesn't have to be a reason. But playing it D&D originally, I sure was confused about wandering monsters. And I didn't know how to fill in the landscapes when I was the DM with details like trees or grass or bushes. I would make things up and let my players use their imagination, but I think I could have done a better job, is what I'm saying. This was before Magic the Gathering was invented, which a lot of those cards would have been useful because you could show different environments. This is what you're looking at. I like the idea of D&D and Magic the Gathering combining forces. For example, let's suppose you kill a Kodiak bear. Then part of its loot would be a Kodiak bear loot card. It might actually be an MTG card that you could then use in your deck in the D&D world where people play Magic the Gathering for loot and prizes. Okay. That would bring in a much needed gambling aspect in D&D. Did Michael Landon really drink 25 beers a day? Oh my goodness, he was an alcoholic. Even though he was portraying a good-natured father in Little House on the Prairie. Alright. I like to go on tangents every once in a while. It's fun. So, my homework is to study the keep. It's so boring. I've never actually been able to process that information in my life. I get to those pages where it describes the rooms and it's just in one ear and out the other. But I will try because I want to comprehend the keep. And I want to flesh it out with real people and characters. And I want to play this module the way it's supposed to be played. That's all I have to say right now. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I will be able to upload this video, or else my YouTube career is over.